What is going on, guys? CLEEEEEEEEEVEEEEEEEEEEVEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeee after the season's felt like 10 whole seasons in itself. We're finally here. Fett, you just got home from work. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my man? Let me start off by saying that as a Cavs fan, you are a bigger Cavs fan than me because you had serious belief in them the whole time.
Not in them. I believe in LeBron.
Okay, yeah, well, and I did not, and I showed that in the last couple podcasts because I did not think they were coming back from 2-0. So SkiveWalker was right. I was wrong. First time ever.
I think that was just a lucky guess.
But no, Cavaliers come back. They win Game 7 in Boston. Feels great, doesn't it?
It does. And they did it uncharacteristically because they didn't do it with their scoring. They actually did it with their defense.
They did.
The last two games was a defensive game, and I didn't think the Cavaliers had it in them.
And the Cavs statistically have been one of the worst defensive teams over the course of the season. Yeah,
it was a shock, especially to see that see them win defensively gives me like a 1% chance that they had to beat the Warriors. They have 1% chance, guys. 1% chance.
So if we're making an analogy out of this, is LeBron Thanos?
LeBron is definitely Thanos. However, I think the Warriors are going to be Captain Marvel, and we're kind of screwed.
Yeah, or I think Thor, Kevin Durant, is going to aim for the head instead of the chest. Yeah.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen it, go see it. Big
Great
Marvel
movie.
guys. So basically, Cavaliers come back. They beat a Kyrie and Gordon Hayward-less Celtics team, which I know everybody is, oh, come on, they were supposed to beat them. Well, it didn't look that way after the first two games. And I'm tired of the hate LeBron's getting. Oh, it was a superstar-less team. Brad Stevens, one of the best coaches. He threw everything they had at LeBron and the Cavaliers.
LeBron still almost put up 40 a game. And Kevin Love was out for Game 7. And does Kyrie Irving really make that team better? Because we saw Kyrie Irving, 7 years here? Or probably 5 or 6. The guy is an ISO ball player. Brad Stevens' offense is a team-oriented offense. So does Kyrie really make them better? I mean, obviously he does because he's the superstar, one of the best point guards in the league. So obviously, yeah. But does he make them really that much better than what they played? And I think this is the best they've played all year.
I agree, because they threw everything they had at us. I mean, I got to give them a bunch of props. I know I got a buddy who's a big Celtics fan, Darren, and, you know, he's feeling the blues, and, you know, he's been letting me know on social media he doesn't appreciate my multiple posts, because, I mean, I have shared everything from LeBron spanking the Celtics logo to everything I could see, basically. King James, kid from Akron, I'm speechless. You know, I've seen a lot of the MJ versus LeBron arguments resurface, and I like what Kobe Bryant said, man. You can let one live without tearing the other two down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I try to explain to people, man, every decade is a new generation of basketball. There's a different set of stars and talent. The game evolves, and you really... I mean, it's no different than any other sport. Could you really toss Babe Ruth in today's game right now and expect the same numbers?
Probably not. But then again, if Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth would still be a drunk nowadays, and probably even more so. But back then, he didn't have the same equipment that we have now. So maybe he could, but maybe he couldn't. That all depends, because all the mechanical equipment just to get your body in shape is so much different.
And today, I believe the athletes are bigger, faster, stronger, where there's, like you said, the influence of technology has helped these guys reach new heights. And it's no different in the game of basketball. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's still a hoop. It's still 10 feet in the air. You know what I mean? But, like, when it comes down to it, the actual offenses, the coaches, the player personnel packages, the small ball theatrics, I mean, everything. I'm just tired of hearing the MJ comparison. MJ, yeah, you are the best. You went 6 for 6. But if you MJ fans are going to claim rings, when Bill Russell gets brought up, he's the GOAT. You know what I mean? He's 11 for 12 in the finals, I think.
Rings can't be everything. I mean, it's a huge factor, but I don't think it should be. I think if you're really comparing apples to oranges, and then you kind of look at that. But with the LeBron and Michael Jordan, it gets so much more complex because there's so much other things that goes into it other than finals, where LeBron is just a superior player and athlete.
Yes.
Where Michael Jordan was a great athlete and a great ball player, but he was not more of like a team-friendly guy. He didn't get the assist. He didn't try to make everybody better, but he did with Scottie Pippen.
Dennis Rodman.
But he also never won without Scottie Pippen, but Scottie Pippen never won without him. So
yeah, it was
kind of a thing where LeBron took Wade and Bosh to the finals, and then he took Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving to the finals. Now, Michael Jordan stayed with the Bulls all the way up until he went to Washington, which
Right.
was washed up. But those two comparisons are going to be, either way you take them, I don't think you're going to have a bad pick. It'll all come down to this finals, really. If LeBron wins this finals somehow, like I said, they have a 1% chance. So I'm really picking the Warriors to win it, probably 4. But if LeBron can somehow win this series, I think there's no longer a debate. I think it's over.
Which I would have to agree with you for the simple fact is he went to 2 franchises and won 2 rings with each franchise. And, I like MJ and stuff, but, I mean, if you look at the Cavaliers' history, there has not been a team that ran into worse luck. I mean, our whole stage of dominance was the MJ eras of the late 80s, early 90s, and from there on, we sucked. We got LeBron. We sucked for the first 2 years, and then we started going to the playoffs. Next thing you know, what is it, 07? We go play the Spurs.
Yeah,
and then he leaves us. Yeah, he leaves us, and then he comes back, and he did promise us a ring. It just took a little bit longer, and
we run into a 73 win team. And then they add
Kevin
one
Durant.
of the best players ever played the game. So, we've had some bad luck.
Let's talk about the Slim Reaper while we're hot on the Warriors topic right now. Does Chris Paul play those last 2 games and the outcome's different and we're playing Houston in the finals?
Yep, absolutely. However, I think they could have won without Chris Paul in Game 7.
I agree.
If they don't miss 27 straight threes.
27.
Now, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I did share this on my own personal Facebook page just a couple days ago. I think it was the night of Game 7. So now me and you were watching it, and we were just like, why don't you drive the lane?
Yes.
With sports betting really becoming a thing now, I think you're going to see games thrown more and more and more, all for the sake of money. Mm-hmm. How does one of the best three-point shooting teams in not just the season, in NBA history, miss 27 in a row? Not that they were contested. I think 20 of them were wide open threes.
20 of them wide open. And the only thing I can say to that is...
Is the fix in?
Is the fix in? And my question is, James Harden, where were you the last 2 games? James Harden plays the worst defense in the NBA. I've never seen somebody start at the foul line and just not care, and just turn around and look where the shot's going, and then lose their man. And I mean, how can you?
And then the next play, you see him go try to block somebody, which is, it's like he picks and chooses. It's like LeBron. Dude, you don't have to score all your points for the offense.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I was, like, when we were watching Game 7, like we said, I could not believe how many threes uncontested went up. Contested threes went up when you would think after 0 for 10, Dan Antonio would be like, listen, guys, please go to the basket, draw the foul. Like, Klay Thompson had, 3 or 4 fouls?
He had 3 fouls in the first 4 minutes. Go after him, because if you could take him out of the game, that's a big player out of him. And Steph Curry is a mental case. If you can get in his head after that, game's over.
And Draymond Green choked. I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, he had a pretty average game. Well, he missed choked. A lot of open threes. A lot of threes. Yeah.
He definitely choked. So, what do you got going on for the fun? What do you think is going to happen in the finals?
Well, after my last prediction betting against King James, I was pretty down. We were down 2 games of Boston. I thought I had lost all hope. I really don't know what to say, man. I don't want to sit here and say it's a sweep for Golden State in 4, because I think we may pull 1 or 2 out of our behinds, but a lot has to do with what team shows up. Does the defensive-minded team that played in Game 7 of the Boston series show up? And, I mean, it's a similar fashion. It's just so hard. Golden State, their worst aspect is their bench, and their bench still comes off and provides decent minutes. I mean, Swaggy P, Jordan Bell, Sean Livingston, Iggy's still hurt.
Jordan Bell just looked bad. He did not look ready for the moment. And the only problem with going to their bench is they can still at any time have 2 of their 4 All-Stars on the court while their bench is in.
That's right. And here we are wondering if Kevin Love, is he out of concussion protocol? Did he pass?
They don't. No. Ty Lue doesn't know if he's able to play Game 1, but Ty Lue doesn't even know how to get to the Red Robin down the street either. So there's that.
Yeah, man. I've never seen a coach just look so lost.
So oblivious.
To the game.
Where one of the most played of his press conference after we won Game 7 was he was so happy for Jeff Green. And hey, the guy came back from open heart surgery. It was a very serious injury, so I'm very excited for the guy. As much crap as I've given him, I'm very happy and very thankful that the guy was still able to play basketball because nobody wants to see anybody's life cut short, let alone their NBA career play short. So it's a very good story for him to be able to play. But come on, Ty Lue. Come, give us something. I mean, you can't even spell your ABCs, I don't think, dude. Like, come on.
I did like watching Jeff Green step in. I did notice the defense was a little bit stiffier with him in there, but I noticed that a lot of the plays that they have Kevin Love lined up on the outside corner, I don't want Jeff Green shooting threes.
Jeff Green is a 30% career three-point shooter. He does not need to be shooting threes.
Go to the basket every time.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's you.
You're still a physical beast when it comes to going to the basket, Jeff Green. I've seen you throw down on so many people this year. Just go to the basket, man. LeBron with those back-to-back threes, I think it was the third, was pretty much for me the knife in the coffin for Boston. LeBron played very well, almost had a triple-double, Game 7. I can't say enough about LeBron James. But this is a whole new circumstance now. I mean, they got to be gassed. They've played 2 7-game series.
Luckily, they've had 3 days off. They play tomorrow.
Yes, they do.
Here I think is the X factor for this series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I hate to play this way, but this is the only way we're going to win, to play mind games with the Warriors. Get in their face, be giant pricks, and get in their heads. Make Steph Curry throw the mouthpiece. Make Draymond Green step over somebody and get a 6 technical and get tossed for a game.
Yeah.
Do something to bother them. Because if you don't, you saw in the first half of the Rockets-Warriors game, the Rockets were playing great defense. They were all over their face. And then they came out the second half. They started missing threes. The Warriors started gaining confidence. They started getting their mental composure back. And then you saw Steph Curry and Kevin Durant just hit some stupid threes with great defense on them. But because they didn't have that mental block and they weren't going nuts, they could just free fire.
It helps when Jordan Bell's setting moving screens, too. He's not exempt from this show either, even as small as we are. But we saw you, Jordan Bell. How about you plant your feet next time you set a screen, you schmuck?
And then again, I guess, and I don't like to blame the referees for outcomes of games because I think the Warriors still probably would have won this game either way. But I guess maybe the Rockets shot 27 straight threes and missed them because every time they went to the hole, the Warriors were straight giving them a power bomb from WWE, and the refs weren't giving them any kind of a call.
Yes, that is true.
So, but even though the refs were terrible, and it was definitely heavy-sided towards Golden State, but the media won't report that side, and every LeBron hater will never say that the Warriors got all those calls. But it is what it is. The Warriors were far and above the better team than Houston. I'd give credit to Houston for even winning 3 games in that series, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, they won 3 games because Chris Paul played those 3 games. You know, he's the difference maker there. As much as I hate that he's already recruiting LeBron to Houston, Team Banana Boat, Houston is, despite being the number 1 seed, they're still 1 player away. They showed that, Eric Gordon played out of his mind. I thought did a great job trying to fill Chris Paul's shoes, but it just wasn't enough, you know what I mean? And James Harden missed a lot of shots. Dan Antonio, I don't think he mismanaged the game. I do think Steve Kerr made the adjustments at halftime. I mean, it's just silly. Their transition is literally just pull up threes and transition instead of going to the hole.
Probably the best transition team in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, it's just outrageous the points they put up in transition period. And the whole team can shoot, man. I mean, if Clay's not going, and KD is. If KD's not going, Draymond is. If Draymond's not, Curry's going to drop 40. And it's outrageous because it is a super team.
It's a tough monster to conquer. So I think the other thing the Cavs have going in their favor is that they can slow the tempo down. Mm-hmm. And the Warriors, as we both saw during that Game 7, if you set up an offense and don't run and gun it, they are clueless.
Right.
Same with on offense. If you can stop their transition, they are clueless offensively, from what it seems like. They just kind of hope that one of their illegal screens gets wide open for a 3.
True. Very true.
But they don't have any kind of interior game, which is, I don't think, they didn't play Zaza Pachulia at all Game 6 or 7 against Houston. You may see him against the Cavs because they have Tristan. Mm-hmm. But I think Draymond Green is just as tall as Tristan Thompson is.
Yeah, they're both 6'9".
So I don't think you'll even need to see Zaza Pachulia. I think they're going to run with that small ball death lineup that they've used every time against the Cavs that killed us. So I think the Cavs have to get in their head and then just play like they did in 2016, where you have to literally burn the shot clock before you put up a shot.
Yes, but they also have to make good shot selections. And let's talk about the matchups, because this is what worries me, okay? We're going to assume Kevin Love is out, all right? Which leaves us with a Tristan Thompson, right? LeBron James, Jeff Green, George Hill, and then what, J.R. Smith?
Probably, even though J.R. Smith is 0 for the series against Boston. But, Ty Lue and his coaching genius that everyone on ESPN is saying shows you how much of a bullcrap program ESPN has turned into since the budget cuts, right? Yeah, see, budget cuts still don't work. Now they're losing people left and right because their program is terrible.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Praising Ty Lue for being this great coach where J.R. Smith has made, I think, 7 threes the entire series. I think he's 7 for 35 or something stupid. It might even be worse than that. It was pretty bad. And somehow he still plays 35 minutes a night. Meanwhile, Kyle Korver comes off the bench and hits like 10 threes and 15 threes the whole series. He's been the second best player on the team, and the dude's coming off the bench. In the one game, he played 19 minutes, and Ty Lue's response was, well, this player didn't play for Boston, so it threw us off. How does that throw you off as a coach? A role player, a guy who nobody even in Cleveland can pronounce his name. Probably half the people in Boston can't pronounce his name. And yet you're going to let him not play Kyle Korver, your best shooter on the team? Clueless Lou.
37-year-old Kyle Korver, who is going to have to come off the bench and shoot lights out. He's got to shoot damn near.
He's got to be perfect.
He needs to be at least 60% from deep.
Dude, I was listening to 92.3 The Fan yesterday, and I had to turn it off because there's a certain program in the afternoon that are the biggest homers I've ever seen in my life, and it about made me vomit watching this or listening to this program yesterday at work. So I actually had to turn it off because I was just getting ticked off and I wasn't going to let it ruin my day. But the simple fact that they're saying that we even have like a 15% chance, and they're saying all the reasons for it, they have to play perfect, they have to play perfect, they have to play perfect. Well, nobody's perfect.
No.
And nobody's going to play a perfect game.
No.
So if that's the case, and you're hoping somebody's playing perfect for your 15% chance, your chance is really 0. Dude, like, I am the biggest homer probably there is. Get your head out of the tulips, bro. Like, you are flying cloud nine.
You believed in the Eastern Conference Finals that we would come back from this, despite me saying, nope, they're going to get swept. I mean, I after Game 2, I was telling everyone at work and anyone that would listen to me, Cavs are done, put a knife in them. And LeBron James willed us back. That block on Terry Rozier.
That was awesome. And then he just stared at him.
Forever I will remember that. Scary Terry trying to dunk on LeBron. And, Terry Rozier, I think I read the day after, said, I'm going to get him next year. Bro.
You ain't jumping that high.
Yeah, you ain't getting out of the gym on him. And don't be trying to brag about dunking on 34-year-old LeBron James, because we know in his prime at freaking 25 years old, nobody's
stopping LeBron James.
So now the transition game, I am very worried about because I just don't see us, as much as our defense is flawed and statistically we're terrible, the Warriors are going to do what the Warriors do best, and that is launch threes and look for easy layups and let Kevin Durant get his 27 points. I'm not really worried. I mean, their core 4 is what I call them: Draymond, Clay, KD, and Steph. They can throw anybody in there between Jordan Bell. Swaggy P comes in with them sometimes. It is going to be hard. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I guess I'm more nervous than anything.
I can promise you we're going to lose by 30 tomorrow. Ty Lue can't make any kind of an adjustment or game plan anything. So I think we're probably going to lose by 30 tomorrow, probably by 15 on Game 2, and then we may steal Game 3. Might.
See, and
if we win a game, it's going to be in Cleveland. I don't know if we can go to work.
Does it really matter if Kevin Love comes back?
And I've been Kevin Love's biggest supporter, and I don't think so. The guy's been that bad this year.
And is it that bad, or is he's scaled back the last 2 years? I mean, his production, I feel like just the rhythm of the offense when he's in there, because they try so hard to set him up offensively. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Instead of letting him just naturally get there.
Yeah, I think they're trying too hard for him. And I think he's putting too much pressure on himself. In all honesty, as much as I love Kevin Love and I didn't want to see him go, I think it's time for a change of scenery for Kevin Love. And I would absolutely love to keep him here in Cleveland because I think he is a huge player and was a big factor in that 2016 championship run. Yes. But sometimes you just got to move on. I mean, it's as horrible as it is. Now, we can talk about trade packages later when the offseason comes, because that's going to be coming in about 5 or 6 games at the most. But I sound like the Debbie Downer here. I do want the Cavs to win.
Me too.
I really want to see the Cavs pull off the upset of a lifetime, and I've tried my best all day, or the rest of the night, Sunday night, all day yesterday, and even a little bit this morning to try to find a way where the Cavs can win. I just don't see it.
And I'm in the same boat, man.
It's LeBron against the best team probably of all time.
And if he wins, like you said, if he wins, he deserves to be GOAT. Because, honestly, people, point back, MJ played tough teams.
Not a team like that.
The only team I really remember him having problems with is the Jazz, because they had the mailman, Karl Malone,
right,
and John Stockton, one of the best passers of all time. But he didn't. That's 2 players. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, we're watching, like you said, these 4 players are in the top 20, statistically for the NBA and fantasy and almost any other stats you want to categorize them in. And, man, I just keep waiting for Rodney Hood to bust out. And
well, you can't bust out if Ty Lue doesn't bust him off the bench. Like, come on. The dude didn't play in game 5, 6, or 7. I don't even think he played in game 4. How do you not let a guy who, and he better play this series, career against the Warriors, he averages 19 points a game. If he does not play in this series, I'm going to lose it. I literally will drive to Cleveland myself. I will drive all the way out to freaking Golden State and kick Ty Lue in the nuts for not playing Rodney Hood. I don't care how long I have to serve in prison. It will be worth it to see that fishbowl in the hospital for being the worthless coach that he is.
And see, I just think it's a simple swap. You start Rodney Hood. He's younger, and he matches up better than J.R. Smith.
Yes.
Because J.R.'s given everything he got, man, but
I think he's just on the decline.
Yeah, and he's getting old, and the whole team, man, like we always talk about, this roster needs a major transformation. For them to win the conference title as a 4th seed was, no one predicted it. No one thought.
Right.
Everybody thought we were going down, and here we are, coming out smelling like, well, not roses, because the NBA Finals are gonna make everything smell like boo-boo, I bet. But I agree with you, man. There's nothing more than I want to see LeBron win this title. Not just for him, for his legacy, for the city of Cleveland, for Cavaliers fans. Because I'm tired. This is the 4th time in a row we're playing them, okay? They already have the series lead 2-1.
Yep.
All right? They already have, 3 NBA titles in the last 6 years?
Yeah, something stupid like that. Well, I think they've only won the 2.
I thought they had one
Did
previous.
They have one more? I don't know the history of the Warriors, so you're probably right.
Yeah, they might have one more. I know overall their franchise has a couple back in the day too. So, I'm happy with our 1 title, because, our whole history we had to deal with MJ kicking our butts in the late 80s through the 90s, and then now it's the same thing. It's a superior team in Golden State we're having to deal with during our glory years. And I want to remind people, if you're a Cavaliers fan, all right, and you're listening to this, you have to remember how bad we were to get LeBron James, okay? We're talking 17-win seasons, bottom of the barrel. Basically, we were the 76ers before the 76ers in their tank. You know what I mean?
The only problem is we got one of the best players of all time, so we couldn't tank it the next 3 years to get 3 other studs.
Oh, we still tried, man. Did you see the talent they put around him? Like Darius Miles, and Boobie Gibson. And
the best call of any basketball game was NBA Live 2004. You score a buck with Darius Miles. Darius Miles. It's awesome. But yeah, he was garbage.
He was.
He was garbage.
And it just fits the mold for people wanting to put talent around LeBron James and constantly putting old baggage. Don't get me wrong, Jeff Green's been a nice surprise.
And he's only 26, believe it or not. He's young.
Oh, really?
He's a younger guy.
So it just comes to the point now where, we have 1 draft picked until 2021. LeBron James soaks up $32 million in cap, and we're paying guys like JR and Tristan like they're, top 100 in the league when they're top 300. And, like you said, that's a separate podcast where I have to get into the details of next year and breaking down the roster and what needs to happen. We also have a draft podcast coming up soon with mock drafts. I'm still working on mine.
That's coming soon.
Yeah, it's going to get hairy.
Because the draft is in June also, isn't it? It's after the finals, though.
Yes. We get slammed this summer. We have the NHL draft in early June, mid-June's NBA draft, and then I think MLB's draft is either late June or early July.
Whew.
So I got my work cut out for me. Looks like football was going to be the easiest one for me.
Yeah, we didn't do so well in our mock draft.
No, we did
We got
not.
a lot of positions right, just the wrong player.
Exactly. Well, we're not getting paid that big money.
Yeah, true
We
that.
would have made those calls.
True that.
But as long as they don't get swept, man, just one win. You know what I mean? One at home. I just don't want them to celebrate on our court either. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't want them to celebrate in Cleveland. I'll just turn the TV off and vomit the rest of the night.
And there's a good possibility that's going to happen either way at the end of each game for us. It just depends on how we show up.
If we get swept, they will definitely be celebrating on our court. So at least win one. So that way, if they win Game 5 and they win the thing, they can celebrate there.
Yeah, in Oracle instead of
the Q.
Yeah, because I don't want to hear the comments about we made their locker room smell like champagne. And
Yeah, the only chance we got, we can't outshoot them at all. We can't even outshoot the Boston Celtics, let alone the Golden State Warriors. So we're gonna have to play a defensive game. You have to play Rodney Hood. You have to. There's no other reason to not play him. And if George Hill's not getting it done on the road, I want Jose Calderon in there. I mean, George Hill was actually. He was terrible in the first half of Game 7, but stepped up defensively at the second half of Game 7 and started to score some buckets.
Yep.
But if he is awful like he was the whole rest of that series, on the road, he was great at home, but on the road, give me Jose Calderon, give me Torrin Clarkson, somebody. George Hill at that point was just a huge hole, not only in offense, but in the defense. He was clueless.
I agree.
So I think the only way we can win is to make it a race to 100. And even then, I still think they're going to score 100 before us.
I do too.
But the Game 7 of the finals in 2016, nobody scored 100, and we scored like 93. So there is a chance.
Who does KD guard? Does he guard LeBron?
Oh, KD's definitely guarding LeBron.
And
Because they're going to make LeBron as least effective as possible. They might even throw Draymond Green at LeBron.
Which I would rather. I'd be happier with Draymond Green matched on him because the Slim Reaper, KD, man. A lot of people, he's not that good of a defender. Well, he locked James Harden down pretty well the last two games.
I mean, then again, Durant's 6'9", and James Harden's 6'3".
Yeah, but
There's
he
a
moves like a
6-inch
guard,
difference.
man.
He does. He's very fast and agile.
Yeah.
But he did have the height advantage.
Yes, he did.
Which is kind of, I mean, it's not unfair because it's the NBA, but it is unfair to be able to move that fast and still be that tall.
And when you're that good of an athlete, and next thing you know, you're jumping through the gym like KD can do.
Right. So point guard, we have a loss. Shooting guard, we have a loss. Small forward, I think we have a win because we have the best player in the game.
Right.
Power forward, we have a loss. And does either team really, truly have a center? Because I think that might be a win, actually.
And that's where I put TT, man. I think that's the only advantage in our 5. I mean, it just depends on Kevin Love, which I wouldn't be opposed to them, sitting Kevin Love out game 1 and then bringing him back game 2. Just to get a feel for it and just to see what in case we might, if he's not back in game 2. A lot has to go through. I do hope for him to have a speedy recovery. You never want to see someone to get injured like that before the biggest stage of their career again. And for this guy, this is his, 3rd, 4th straight finals appearance. Yeah, with LeBron. And
Now, I know Ty Lue's not going to do this because he never makes adjustments when his team actually wins. Because he just doesn't make adjustments even when we lose. So why would he make adjustments when he wins? So he's going to run out Jeff Green out there to start again, which is normally would be fine because he played good in Game 7. Not started Game 7, but Game 7 overall he played great. But I would not be opposed to running Tristan Thompson and Larry Nance in the starting lineup for one simple reason. Kevin Durant's going to get his. I want somebody out there that's just going to hit him every time he touches the ball. Just make sure he's felt. Make him... If he's going to score 30, make him shoot 20, 25 times to get that 30. That's the only way you stop in quotation marks, stop Kevin Durant, is to make him score points, but make him so inefficient that the points don't matter as much. So I would rather a great defender and a great hustle guy in Larry Nance, even if he uses all 6 fouls in the first quarter. Just hit him every time he hits the ball. Be a physical team. Tristan Thompson, if you're guarding Draymond Green, whenever Draymond touches the ball, hit him. Not hard to where it's a foul, but make sure he knows you are right there.
See, I'm the opposite. I want Draymond Green fouled. I want him to lose his cool.
I'm okay with that too.
But it's very, Draymond Green's petty, and that's what we got to remember. I don't know if everybody watched, but he knocked James Harden down and then tried to pull him up. You don't pick up an opposing player like that, dude. Come on.
Especially on that. And if it's a regular season game, you'll probably get it.
Yeah.
But not in the Game 7 conference finals, man.
Yeah.
Off the court, you can be buddy-buddy. But during those moments, and even regular season, because regular season really doesn't matter as much. So they'll probably be like, all right, cool. But Game 7, man, you are the enemy. It is not cool to do that.
Especially in this series now, there is no friendly.
There is no friends.
No.
Each fan base hates each other.
Yeah.
Every player hates the other player on the other team.
Right.
There's...
unfortunately, man, I just feel like we're out-muscled. Kyrie, I felt a lot better having Kyrie. You look at that trade now.
Still, I think George Hill will be able to guard Steph Curry better than Kyrie did. So I guess that's a positive. But he's not going to be able to score as many points as Steph Curry, so that's also the negative. So
man, I don't know, dude. Curry pulls up 40 feet and hits shit.
It's ridiculous.
And KD's the same way, to hit on what you said. I don't want Kevin Durant to take 25, 30 shots because he's been making almost everything he throws up.
This is true.
He's developed a three-point shot. They got a rhythm, and his jumpers from 20, 25 feet, man, just can't stop it. He's so lanky, can't block it.
I would not be opposed to not playing J.R. Smith one single minute this series. Not even a minute. I'd rather Kyle Korver start and Chetty Osman come off the bench and play the two guard. Because I don't need Chetty Osman to score. I just like the other two guys. Come off the bench, and every time Klay Thompson touches the ball, hit him.
Okay.
Hit him.
So you want to play more of...
I want to play bad boys Piston style. Because if we don't play physical, we're going to get shredded.
I don't think we have much of a choice either. And I would like to see the 90s type of era basketball come back. They got to be careful letting that go because, Draymond, and then there's sub Zaza, and the last thing I need to do is watch Zaza.
And LeBron's career.
Exactly, because...
At that point, then you just bring in Big Perk and just throw haymakers. That's another guy. And then we're going to get out of here. But why don't you play Kendrick Perkins at all? Because he's got... I don't care if... because he's not good at all anymore.
Yeah.
But play Big Perk to where if somebody drives the lane, he can choke slam him. Pay his fine, Dan Gilbert, somebody. Choke slam Draymond Green every time he comes to the hole. Choke slam Kevin Durant every time he comes to the hole.
I can assure you, since Kendrick Perkins played the whole season on the Canton Charge,
he's not going to play one single minute.
And he didn't average more than 10 minutes a game. I read a lot of good articles about him. He was good for some of the youth down there in the developmental league. But
he's really just another coach on the bench.
He is. And, he's also that enforcer to where someone barks like Drake did at him. You know what I mean? He's a big dog, too.
They come at you.
So
the only problem is it would be great to have the enforcer on the court. That's why you teach Chetty Osman to do it, Larry Nance Jr. do it, Tristan get rid of the Kardashian, and then you can do it again. And then there you go.
Before we go, I just want to let everyone know the new curse has been put on the 76ers as Ben Simmons is dating one of the Jenner girls.
That's why he couldn't hit a three in the playoffs.
That's why he had 1 point.
Right, in Game 7. Or Game 6.
And he was playing Fortnite too much, too, so that's probably part of the reason.
Yeah, you can't put the video games down in the conference finals, man. Or the semifinals. What are you doing, man? But yeah, all right, so I got the Warriors in 4, but the Cavs will probably get one, so I'm going to say Warriors in 5.
That's what I'm going to say.
Warriors
I'm going to say 5. We might squeeze one out, but I won't be surprised if we're swept. And I know I said that after the 2 games in the Celtics series. As unconfident as I was in that series, I am twice as unconfident and uninspired, and they're my team. The Cavs are my favorite team. I like LeBron James because he's played a majority of his career with the Cavaliers. They are my favorite NBA team, and that's exactly it. So naturally, I'm going to root for my team no matter what, despite having a false sense of security like some of these Cavaliers fans, man. Unbelievable. Like you said, people got to be realists and understand what he's going up against. The task is monumental. If LeBron James wins this series for the Cavaliers and they win, then there's no doubt he deserves a gold statue in the middle of Cleveland.
Dude, if he wins, I think he already does deserve a statue, but
true,
if he wins 2 games in this series, if he somehow wins one, 2, or 3, let alone 4, if he wins 1, 2, or 3, just build him a statue that he's the GOAT in Cleveland.
Whether if he wins 4, Dan Gilbert should just hand the team over to him.
Yeah, there should not even be a sell of the team. Just be like, LeBron, here you go.
Yeah, you have earned this, my friend.
Yeah.
So,
but all right, guys, let us know your predictions down below. Even though we were kind of a little bit of Debbie Downers today, But it is what it is. The Cavs don't really have a shot. It's not even that it's not LeBron's fault because LeBron will probably somehow will them to one game. But I don't know if LeBron himself can take on 4 superstars. So
LeBron gonna get his.
yeah,
That's what we're
LeBron's gonna drop 40 and probably not come off the court one single minute this series unless Ty Lue's an idiot. But other than that, guys, let us know what in the comments what your predictions are. Leave a like, share this video with your friends. SkiveWalker signing off. Peace.
Peace.